the theme of To the Nile. The poem To the Nile carries many themes associated with nature. It first examines examines the natural beauty and power of the longest river, the Nile, the longest river, the Nile. The poet explains how the Nile begins from high mountains of Africa, covered with snow, S-N-O-W. And this river gracefully flows down. Gracefully, gracefully flows down, nourishing, N-O-U-R-I-S-H-I-N-G, nourishing the flora and fauna, F-L-O-R-A, flora, and fauna, F-A-U-N-A. Fauna means animal, flora means trees, plants. Flora and fauna around it. The Nile is further beautified. B-E-A-U-T-I-F-I-D, beautified by various aquatic, A-C-A-Q-U-A, aquatic, A-Q-U-A-T-I-C, aquatic plants, green islands, and the bright sun, The Nile is regarded as the protector and caretaker, of the Africans and Egyptians. These people are blessed with, these people are blessed with, these people are blessed with the bountifulness of, the bountifulness of, bountifulness, bountifulness of the Nile. Nile. Next paragraph. The poem also examines, the poem also examines the people's, the people's failure to understand, failure to understand nature and natural objects in a rational way, rational way, rational way. People's lack of knowledge, people's lack of knowledge and education, people's lack of knowledge and education on nature, on nature, make them blind, make them blind worshippers, make them blind worshippers, worshipers, worshippers of it. The Africans and Egyptians, the African and Egyptians fails, FAIL, fail to understand the Nile's natural behaviors and they begin to worship it as a holy river, HOLY, holy river. They believe that, they believe that the Nile is the son of some divine parents, some divine parents The poet rejects all myths, myths, all myths and superstitious belief associated with the Nile. Associated with the Nile. For him, the Nile is another graceful creation of nature. Another graceful creation of nature that adorns ADORNs, that adorns nature and support people and other animals to live. Animal to live. Right. Then write down next techniques. Techniques of the poem. Number one, personification. Write down the Nile is personified. The Nile is personified as a divine sun and also as a leader and protector. A leader and protector. Full stop. The All Moon Mountains. The All Moon Mountains are personified as the parents of the Nile and the pyramids and crocodile are seen as the subjects, subjects, subjects of the Nile. Next technique, apostrophe. Write down. Apostrophe is a technique. Apostrophe is a technique in which an object is addressed. along with personification. The first and the second lines of the sonnet, the first and the second line of the sonnet are two examples for apostrophes. Right? Next technique, the first person point of view. Write down. It is the poet who comments on the Nile from within the poem. From within the poem. Next techniques, paradox. For these lines, we call thee fruitful, and that very while a desert fields are seeing's inward span. In the above lines, the paradoxical nature of the Nile is commented. Is commented. The Nile is believed to be a fruitful river, but it flows through a desert. It flows through a desert. Next technique, rhetoric question. In a rhetoric question, in rhetoric questions, Keats expresses his doubtful feeling about the Nile's resourceful nature. Please quote, art thou so fruitful, or dost thou beguile such men to honor thee? Art thou so fruitful, or dost thou beguile such men to honor thee? Next technique, Petrarchan sonnet style. It uses the format of Petrarchan sonnet. It uses the format of Petrarchan sonnet. Sonnet. In the octave, a question is raised. In the octave, a question is raised. And in the sestet, solution is given. The sonnet also has the Petrarchan rhyming scheme, scheme. The Petrarchan rhyming scheme ABB, AA, BBA, CD, CD, CD. Next technique, imagery. The poem is full of much imagery, much visual imagery related to nature, such as moon mountains, crocodile, desert, green islands, plants and trees, and also some man-made imagery, such as pyramid, Cairo and Deccan, Cairo and Deccan, full stop. All these images collectively create a vivid image of the Nile, a vivid image of the Nile. Sound devices, next technique. Sound devices. First one, rhyming. The Petrarchan enrhyming scheme. The Petrarchan enrhyming scheme is used. The Petrarchan enrhyming scheme is used. Assonance. For the line, son of the old moon, mountains of African. Underline, underline, O old, of old. Then caught we, the. Right? Tease ignorance of all beyond. DOS. There are some examples for assonance. 3. Alliteration. Examples: moon, mountains. Moon mountains. One example. Right? Born with toil. Another example. Born with. Happily does haste. Next technique, metaphor. Metaphor. The Nile is called the nurse of Sort Nation. For this line, nurse of Sort Nation. It's a metaphor. Right? Next technique, simile. There is one simile. Please quote the line. Green rushes like our rivers. Underline like our rivers. Green rushes like our rivers. Okay. There are some uh, common techniques used in this writing poem to the Nile. Next, we have to discuss some context questions on this poem. Right. Take your context book. Write down these questions. Okay, let's discuss the answers. Son of the all moon mountains, African, chief of the pyramid and crocodile. From where are these lines taken? Who wrote them? You know the answer. From to the Nile. Who wrote them? John Keats. What is referred to as sun? The Nile. Name the sound device used in the underlying words. Moon mountains. What is the sound device? Alliteration. How does the speaker describe the sun? The poet describes the Nile as a divine person who is a powerful leader to the pyramids and crocodile. As a divine son who is a powerful leader to the pyramids and crocodile. Second question. We call the fruitful and that very wild desert fields of seeing's inward span. From where are these lines taken? Who wrote them? Now you know answer. To whom are these words addressed? To the Nile. And capital always. always in capital. What is the technique used in the addressing this the? We call the as the. It is personification. The personification, that is the technique. What is the speaker's comment on this the? Write down the poet. The poet comments that the Nile is paradoxical. The Nile is paradoxical in nature. In nature, it is believed to be fruitful, but it has a barren desert. It has a barren desert on both sides of the river bank. That question, nurse of short nation since the world began. From where these lines taken, you know it. What is referred to by the underlying phrase? What is this? The Nile, nurse of short nation, is a metaphor used for the Nile. What is the technique used in that phrase? What is the technique used in this phrase? Metaphor. Metaphor. What feelings does the speaker have towards this the? What feelings? Doubtful, suspicious feelings. Write down the poet. The poet has doubtful feelings towards the Nile's nature. Nile's nature. He feels that Nile is a cheater. Cheater. Fourth question. Or may dark fancies, they surely do. It is ignorance that makes a barren waste of all beyond itself. B question, who speaks these words? The poet. What does the speaker mean by dark fancies? Superstitious belief, myths. What is the effect of these dark fancies on society and life? Yes. Write down. Superstitious belief. Superstitious belief make people blind. Make people blind to the true realities. To the true realities of nature. True realities of nature. Therefore, they begin to worship nature. Out of their lack of knowledge and education. Regarding nature's phenomena, phenomena. Right. Write down these essay type question. The poem to the Nile depicts that the Nile is not an extraordinary river as the African believe. Do you agree? Second question, when the people are ignorant, they fail to understand nature's phenomena. How does Keats discuss this theme in the poem to the Nile? Okay,